into order. And the first order of business is approval of the June 4th minutes. Does anybody have any corrections? There was well, in two formats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now.
My
So-
PDF thing.
Is Ron tomorrow?
No.
I didn't know if we had anybody.
We have a forum.
Yeah, I just didn't know who were. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Sarah, anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. Okay,
I've got it.
public comment is open at this point.
Oh, there's Willem.
Okay, is Dawn here?
He's coming. Oops, okay, so now.
Okay, Jet.
We'll get a little bit.
Kathleen, tell me who's online. Willem, Lloyd, who else is it?
No. Neil, Larry, and Neil. Larry Kellogg and Neil Wilson. Do you know them?
Want to join the fun today?
They're welcome.
Okay, can everybody online hear okay?
Got one more there.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, just wanted to check. Thank you, guys.
Okay, keep looking for,
Yep, we'll keep watching.
Parker here.
He's
Parker.
He's right here.
okay, go moving along if there's no public comment. Agenda items, okay, I think this is mostly gonna be some expository speaking from Melissa.
Shared. Actually, it's not. We have a PowerPoint we're gonna follow, so
Okay.
look that up. Just give us a second.
Sure.
And so the first, once Kathleen pulls this up while she's doing it, the first report on the agenda is actually a capital projects update report. And we loaded this at the front because we wanted one of our project engineers, Aaron Parker, to join us. He is been with us, I think, once before on some updates. He took over for Kyle when Kyle went in the stormwater role because we like to have new fun things to do. So Aaron's learning all things airport.
Will you be posting these later or sending?
Yeah, and this gets recorded too, so it'll get posted as well. So
I know, but that's the video. I just
Yeah.
have the PDF.
yeah, the PDF. Yeah, we can do that of the PowerPoint with
That would be-
the minutes. So
Thank you.
anyway, Aaron, are you able to talk?
Yeah, can you hear me?
And we can hear you, so you're good to go.
Great. Okay. Kathleen, you can advance the slides. This slide is about a summary of our projects we have right now. I'm not sure what everyone has heard about, and feel free to interrupt me with questions along the way or at the end. Right now, the biggest ones are shown here. There's also, I believe, some planning going on just from a funding perspective for future projects, capital plan. I'm not going to go over that, but just the projects that I have that I'm working on that are either in design or construction or with the replotting project. You can go to the next slide. Just that project as a standalone effort. So where are we at here? Is this the third slide? Okay, this is a summary of the funding. I get into each project's kind of funding summary, but this is some more of the detail of the funding. We've got airport fund, it's labeled as airport cash, state grants and federal grants, and the T-hangar taxi lanes and taxiway C rehab is completed in yellow there, yeah, but that's Kyle's project, and I know he's working on, there may be a slide on this one, but he's working on.
No, this is an overview of the current 2025 and the 26 projects. So I left the T hanger in there because that was money that some of it was spent in 25, but it's a completed project. So there's no slide discussing that because that is completed.
Okay, thanks,
They're for
Kathleen. Yeah.
informational purposes.
Yeah, and from meeting, we had met with the FAA about a month ago, and there's talk about how to resolve a funding mismatch, like on paper, that just has to be resolved on the FAA side. It sounded like So they are doing that, from my understanding, FAA
Yeah,
is
we're just reconciling some money. It's
reconciling.
nothing
It's
of
exciting
concern.
things called journal entries.
Yeah, it's not any concerning.
Nothing too exciting.
So for your accountant, get what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm also not privy to some of the details on the ALP and the master plan update. I believe, Melissa, are you kind of managing that project?
we have another agenda item to talk about the master plan, but that's just another project that's also in the works and, but this isn't a capital item. It's just money that's been spent so far this year on the airport
Okay.
master plan.
Yeah.
And we have another agenda item to give you an update on that.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll talk to you
So
about the
remaining
taxiway.
projects are the ones that Aaron's gonna talk about.
Right.
And these are the funding mixes, so.
Right. So typically with the state grants, they want a 10% match. So you're looking at numbers that are available. Like with taxiway A lighting, we got the bid in. No, that's right. We're advertising that one right now. So that's just an estimate. It was put into the CIP. The city match isn't necessarily 10%. That looks about 10% though of a total of $820,000 for the project. And then the airport rehab, the apron rehab, that one has a combination of several grants. Actually, I think it's 5 grants. Let's see, let me count them up. For design, there were 2. So the apron project is split into the apron and taxiway C rehab. And so there's a state grant for apron and state grant for taxiway C for design and both for construction. So there are 4 state grants. There are 2 FAA grants, and those are split into different FAA programs. There's the BIL Airport Improvement Program and the AIG Airport Improvement Grant, I think. And those are each about $500,000. So there's a total, 1.13 million. And there's also another grant that we got through the Kansas Infrastructure Hub called the Build Kansas Grant. It's only about $30,000, but it goes towards construction. And it goes towards the city's match specifically to the FAA BIL grant. So we have an out-of-pocket match to that grant of $1,500. So our total match is something along the lines of, it's on there, $150-something thousand for a $2.6 million project. I think that prior years is included in the 2.6, so it's really 2.4-ish for construction. And then runway 119, we're entering into design into the agreement August 19th. You can go ahead and skip to the next slides. There's some more detail about what's going on in each one. Taxiway A lighting is taxiway A lighting. So this is a good one to talk about in terms of logistics of construction. I believe Garver had said that the lighting will remain functional, the existing lighting, and they're going to build around that, the new lighting. So it includes new light bases, light units, conduit, and wire. We originally had an electrical vault as a bid item, but that was made an ad alternate because of funding. And looking at the funding there, a total of $640,000 for the project. Yeah, 1 state grant. There's no FAA funds in this. Oh, this is an old presentation. This isn't the updated one, Kathleen.
That's okay.
The question marks
No,
hit
it's
me
not
off.
okay. No, it's not okay.
I don't know if you have the other one real quick. But the
Aaron, so where is,
I could
where's
potentially pull it up.
the one you're working on?
I have that. If I can be made to be able to share my screen
Okay,
in just a minute. Here it is. Oh, I can share. Let me skip to that page. Okay, can you see the screen?
not yet.
Oh, right, I have to hit share. There we go.
Right.
This should be the same screen we're looking at, but with more bullet points.
Yeah.
So this is looking at my calendar. We're advertising right now. There's an optional pre-bid meeting next week and then a questions deadline, and then we're going to open bids August 26th. And that puts the authorization to execute the contract from City Commission mid-September and an early October notice to proceed. And you can see the contract time on here, Kathleen. Thanks for adding this image. 3 14-day phases. So I don't know if anyone has questions about the phasing. That was one of my questions to Garver, who designed this. But I believe they're working around existing lighting, installing the conduit and the bases. And then they will, although there was some concern from the airport electrician about Brett Brown about working around live electric lines that are the existing lighting and maybe some other lines out there. So we'll work with the contractor to keep the lighting up as to the extent possible. I don't believe it's going to be shut down until the switchover is made, but it wasn't exactly clear to me. So I'm not a pilot. That's the other thing I want to say. So I don't know if the lights need to be on during the day or are they just for the nighttime?
Whether there's bad weather, who is gonna do the NOTAM?
That NOTAM will be done with Garver.
Okay, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. And Aaron, once this gets going, we'll have to be talking closer before the contractor starts.
Okay.
We'll need to make sure they know what they're doing.
How much time are they gonna be spending on the taxiway and how much of a problem is that gonna be?
I think,
Or are they gonna be working off to the side all the time?
I think that's something we'll have to find out from Garver as we get closer. So we can put this on a future agenda for more of a construction, how that's gonna work.
He said March for this.
Did you say March, Aaron?
No.
Construction is looking to proceed as early as the beginning of October.
October.
Yeah. Trust me, with the number that we took out mowing this week, I'm hoping there's a better set. We're done. Oh my God, you think it needed mowed? Yes. it did.
So,
Oh my
so the
God.
plan is that the existing lighting would stay totally operative, right?
Yes.
Until the new stuff is in. So there really shouldn't be any, logically, there ought not to be any electrical interference. They're just paralleling it without touching it, right? Is that it,
Right.
Aaron? Okay.
I believe so. I know the new lighting, there are tables for the
Oh, sure.
offsets from center line of taxiways for the new bases, and they're all about 10 feet from edge of asphalt. I don't know where the existing lighting is located. There's no tables for that, and I haven't looked at that carefully out in the field. So I assume that from discussions with Garver that they're able to work around the existing lighting, but I didn't double check that. Does anybody know what lighting distances are?
I don't.
Oh, well, it all depends on a whole series of things that the FAA requires. So I don't think that you or I would know that, Aaron, but Garver does.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if these are scaled images, but here's
Yeah.
actually the plan. So, okay,
But
we'll
the
work
good
with,
news here is we're getting new taxiway lighting.
Yeah, that'll be
Okay.
great on A especially.
Yeah.
So how long are they supposed to take to do this, Aaron?
Be done by
Construction.
November.
How
yeah,
long
they
will it
should
take?
be done by, within a month and a half, 45 days.
Okay, and how much, what do they believe the cutover protocol is gonna be? Are they gonna test it or how's that gonna work?
The
Because
protocol for
obviously they're gonna
testing,
get rid of one and start another one, so,
that's a good question. I'm not sure. I can
okay.
ask that of Carver.
So it would be good to have it on the next agenda or something.
Yeah,
We'll say.
sure thing.
You said.
Absolutely.
Who's in charge of the lighting?
Well, we are in charge of the maintenance.
So like if it does go IFR, those lights have to be turned on. Who does it?
Don't know. These are all good questions.
Well, we can turn them on, turn those theoretically.
Yeah, but it.
On.
Well, still-
This is-
I assumed it was the airport manager. That's why I was
Right.
asking the question.
No,
Okay,
it's not. It's gotta have been that vehicle.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
all
What
right.
did you say it's the FBO? Oh,
I'm just saying, we don't we never have done anything like that.
Right.
So if it's my maintenance guys, I'm not aware of it. And again, this is why some of the other later agenda items are more important.
Roger that.
We'll get there.
Yep, so
Okay,
next one, Aaron.
Aaron,
Okay. Else on this one, I think that's about it. So it can be constructed over winter. The apron, so I'd like to pull up this is just showing the apron as an image, but I would like to pull up the plans for the apron if you want to take a look at that.
And
There's
just so you know, this is the one we received the second grant on today.
Oh, good.
So we now have, Kathleen was blessed to get that in today, and we will be moving forward on this,
Cool.
here shortly.
So when it says still waiting, 1 of 2 grants.
The one of two arrived this afternoon, post, this being produced.
My goodness.
We have 2 of 2 now or 1 of 2?
2 of 2,
Awesome.
not 1 of 2, 2 of 2. The 1 of 2 is a problem. because we
Here's
just
kind of the phasing of the apron project, phases 1 through 5. So I know there was a while since I've been talking to Garver about how this was going to get phased, but there was some discussion about how aircraft were going to get in to runway 119 during this phase 4B. And does anyone have any questions on this? Let me get it to where you can see all the phases. First, they're going to start with this area, then here. And I think we had enough funding on this one to add alternate 2, which is expansion of the concrete at the fueling apron, if I remember right. Okay.
Cool.
So is that good news for everybody?
That's great news.
All right, Aaron, you made some people happy.
All right. Yeah. So there's quite a few grants on this one. Right. There's a hold pending the FAA complaint. Bettis was the only bidder, and as such, we had to do an evaluation with FAA, and that's passed. And they signed a bid hold to construct in the spring of 2026, early spring, as soon as weather allows. They will get started. And their bid hold is through April 30th, so that should allow plenty of time for the weather to come around in the spring. So we're just in that kind of a holding pattern on this one. This is the one that's going to go to September 2nd, City Commission for acceptance of the FAA grants. We already have the state grants executed, so all the funding would be in place. The only exception would be the Build Kansas grant, the $30,000 match grant that we'll have that until after FAA agreements are executed. I'll send those to the Kansas Infrastructure Hub, and they'll get us back the agreements to take to commission. That's probably going to be in October or something.
This is another example of where we're cobbling together money from all over the place, OPM, to get stuff improved and get our pavement condition numbers out there. So, great work, and it's a lot of work because Kathleen's juggling some of it, Aaron's juggling some of it, finance is juggling some of it. We're juggling it with how we're moving money around for budget. So just know there's a lot of back of housework going on to make these things, which just seem like a repaving project happen, but they're taking hours.
It's not all weather delay, right?
Huh?
It's not all weather delay, though.
It's
This-
not been delayed.
This is not this isn't weather, this project is not weather delayed. This project was delayed because we never got the grants from the feds until just today, the last one.
Okay, so if we accept them, will we be able to use them?
Yeah, we'll use them, but we won't start till next spring on the 8th.
Okay,
And the reason for that is because it's just, we can't guarantee that they can get in and out fast enough, right, Aaron, if they were to start this fall.
Because of the weather.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
And it'll carry over, right? Because that'll be next fiscal year.
But it doesn't matter, I've already accepted the
Got it.
grants.
They're starting, okay, the grant is for 2026, okay?
Oh, God.
This year. Who can, next year?
I
Right.
don't care.
Trying to
Go away.
We were trying to do it this. It's just. Yeah, it didn't move. So. Okay, Aaron, back to.
Yep, presentation. I'll share that again. 119,
The massive spider.
Look at spider coming down.
Oh, spiders,
Oh, gross.
They don't scare me. They're fine. Just a second. Give me a minute.
They scare me.
What?
That's not my.
Like a signal from the- You want to join?
runway is going to be,
Listen, just smash it, it's right there.
for
Smash
the
there. Here,
Good job.
it's done,
Okay.
forget it.
So this last year, last summer, we had SSI, was an epoxy, an airport specialist for runway rehab, repair a section of falling concrete down one of the longitudinal joints of runway 119. It was two, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 of the joints. Each panel is, I didn't remember, maybe 15 feet wide square. So there's, I don't remember the width of runway 119 either, but there are several longitudinal joints, maybe 5. I think it's 2 of them that's some falling on either side, and that's what we're looking to repair with this project. We have test epoxy put in that is a special type of epoxy that doesn't flex like concrete, but it bonds well to concrete. And when they install it, they have to sound out kind of where the damaged area is and get it down to competent concrete and then put the epoxy in. I think there was some talk of resealing the joints as well with a better sealant than what was put in. So kind of a process to rehabilitate the runway. We're entering design in September. That's on the August 19th City Commission meeting to accept the design contract with Garver for this. They estimated it would be, I think it was like 90 days or so to design it. So we'd be looking to get into construction in the early part of next year. And this is only state grant funded with the airport fund cash match. There's no FAA funding. And I'm trying to think if there was something else I was going to mention about this.
Oh, yeah, what I said earlier was about this project, not the apron, that's why I got a little
Yeah.
confused, sorry about that.
Hey, and Aaron, just something to note, and if I didn't say it, probably somebody else will, is that with World Cup, we've got to watch the timing on both the apron and on this project, because we can't be entering into that period in June and July. So they're
Right.
either gonna have to start and finish before or after, but they can't do it during, or I
I
will lose
think
my
that,
job.
yeah, for the prior,
I was
the
wondering
apron,
about that too with the apron.
No,
thing.
Garver told me that they would have the 119 one done in the spring. It only takes like 6 weeks or so, or two or 3 weeks. It's
Yeah.
like totally.
I don't trust
Okay.
anybody, so, yeah, we'll have more conversations on that one, guys.
Yeah, well, I was gonna bring that up on the apron project.
Yeah, the apron is,
That's the one I was more concerned about, the world.
It sure would be nice if it was.
well, we want
apron
it done.
has a
but
construction time frame, and I think it's 84 calendar days with Schedule 1 and Adult 2 and Schedule 2. Yeah, 82 calendar days. So that's calendar days. It's 2.5 months.
Everything is on time and on budget, right?
Yeah, and no extra 3 days. Mhm, yeah, we're.
They'd have to
pushing it.
get started in March or early April.
Yep. Okay. We'll have to watch that one,
And,
Aaron,
okay.
together
Right,
very closely.
When's the World Cup? I mean, we're doing,
It's mid-June to
Yeah.
mid-July, basically.
because we're doing some qualifications here in town, so the mid-June, July, okay.
Do we know what the anticipated traffic is for that?
No clue.
No clue.
No.
Until December, January, most likely January, we won't even know what team we have.
Okay,
That's right, we're housing a whole team, is that correct?
Correct. Well, we think,
Yeah.
yes. We've been selected as one of the places to host a team. Now, there's possibility someone doesn't pick here, but there seems to be some logic that would not make any sense that we should have a team, so. But replatting, here's excitement, Aaron.
Replatting, yeah. So this was, as far as I understand, also kind of shoehorned into a project funding wise, and we were able to get it done, it within budget. Billing is complete. The plat was accepted. The final plat was accepted in terms of the dedications of easements and rights of way, last night by City Commission. On consent, they didn't pull it though. And this talks about, as well, so the way it was done was all the
Did they pull
easements
it
and
off
rights.
consent?
What's that?
What?
Did you say you did or did not pull it off consent?
Did not.
Did not, okay.
This was boring.
So,
Opens up.
yeah, it was pretty
It's,
straightforward. We were we're confident in all the right of way and easements so all the right of way and easements were vacated by a KSA statute and were rededicated in the plat. So that includes Airport Road and Bryant Way, Taylorcraft Road and Waco Street, I think were vacated. All the easements along them were vacated. All of the public side areas were platted with a subdivision type of design and were not, didn't lend themselves to the kinds of airport development that we think we'll have or that we've had applications for, and applicants have had to go in and vacate some right of way or easements that are in their way. And so we wanted to vacate everything that wasn't serving a purpose right now. It's a lot easier to dedicate something than to vacate something, was the theory.
yeah, and since
so
we lease land out here, it's a lot easier in general to not have that in the way, so.
So now it's just 3 blocks or 3 tracks. All of this, I don't know if you see my mouse moving around, but everything north of the highway is 1 block or 1 tract, except for this small, or 1 lot, I should say, except for this small tract, which is where the pump station will go, where the existing collection area is for the sanitary sewer. And then down here, there are 2 lots that are separated by 1600 Road, or it's East 1600 Road. So there are 3 lots and a tract. And I could share more about, there were some easements that were needed to be dedicated for franchise utilities. Evergy is there, Midco is there. I believe AT&T is the other one. And so all of their infrastructure was carefully gone through and easements were dedicated over kind of long period of time, a lot of conversations, a lot of locates done, surveyors were out there. So PEC did a really good job on this, and there's still some outstanding comments from the county surveyor because some of these roads are, some of the areas are flanking county roads. And so Kevin Sontag, and I forgot the public works director's name, but they've been helping with this. So has the Register of Deeds and the city surveyor, many hands on this one. And with the master street tree plan that's being established with this for Airport Road and Bryant Way, when developers come in, their lease agreements will describe the area that they can use or control, I guess can use, and street trees will have to be planted on those frontages on Airport Road and Bryant Way, wherever they're located. So FA does not have a restriction to trees other than a Part 77 surface. And there's surfaces that emanate out at the end of the runways. There are some, I forgot what they're called, circulars, FA circulars about that. And
Your imaginary area,
they're imaginary surfaces, right?
yes.
So the trees on the land side of the airport are non-problematic to FAA, and there is no way to really get out of those. My thought was they would house birds, and that could be a problem for planes. But if FAA is not concerned, I don't know. There was no way to kind of do away with that. But right now, we don't have to plant them with the platting, which is more common. And there's a floodplain development permit that accompanies the replat that needs to get finalized before we can record. But we're planning to record soon. PEC is finalizing comment resolution, and also they're managing the floodplain development permit. So that's it on the replat. There are many sheets. I think there are 10 sheets, as you can see. So it's kind of a big job.
Thanks, Erin. Does any, Erin?
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and go back to the other one. Up before, that's where I was thinking.
That was nice for you to hear.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
Something else from Aaron?
Okay,
Nope,
thank you.
nope.
Thank you, Erin.
Thanks.
All right. Yep. Thanks, well.
Okay, are we ready for the master plan update?
Yes, that's where
Okay,
we're headed
and
next.
that is you, Melissa?
Yeah, it's me. Unless somebody random is on that I don't know.
Mm-mm.
So we'll get the agenda up back to where we were at before. Hey, master plan update. So, is that the first one? Hold on, give me a second.
Speaking from home or something?
Maybe Pascal was in his office.
Okay.
Hello? We can hear somebody talking online. All right, so we're back.
This
There we go.
meeting is at the
Please mute your-
sanitation department office.
Okay,
The
you're,
last one.
sorry, who's ever online is talking.
Please mute.
Larry Kellogg.
Larry Kellogg.
Uh-oh.
Please mute. All right, thanks, sorry. We're now where we need to be. So the airport master plan update, okay, there we go. No, back it up, back it up. What did I do? There you go, right there. Okay. So we started this project, actually almost 2 years ago, which is hard to believe, but it was late 23. There are 8 elements, with 4, as Garber notes here, 100% completed. We will be sending more stuff out to you here in the next couple of weeks to start kind of just looking at. But the completed elements are listed here on this slide, which is, you know, our initiation and administration components, and then the inventory of existing conditions, which is very important, and the forecast activities, which I believe Brett has given you guys an update on probably earlier in the winter time. This early spring is maybe February sticking with me. And then facility requirements, and part of that was, you know, stuff that we went over out at the open house that we had. Next slide.
Yeah, this is not the updated one either.
No, this one's fine. It's
Yeah,
okay.
well, okay, well, actually, 5 elements are completed, not 4.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
can't deal with it right now, so
Okay.
move on. Okay,
Development alternatives have been completed.
okay, yeah, I don't know, this is the last thing I saw, so, and then we've also been, talking to them, about the last 3 that are underway, which is 6, 7, and 8. The airport layout plan, mapping the conditions out there and ultimate conditions. And we have had conversations with the FAA on this, so, you know, talking about, different, you know, things that we might need to be considering as part of the capital improvement component, of it. We went out, today, Kathleen and I listened in on a, meeting with Garver, looking at the 0 to 5 years, which included stuff that we're just sharing up here, stuff that we've recently completed, but then that 5 to 10 year, the intermediate range. And so once they finish kind of putting that together, that's something that we're going to want to get to you guys to look at prior to what we're hoping is the October meeting where this is brought forward in its final form. And then there's some stuff that's like way out there, that's not even in the 20 years that they kind of park out there, within the plan. So hopefully, this will kind of give us that roadmap for at least the next 5 to 10 years, because these really are only about a 10-year document, based on my understanding. And it puts us where we have those things written down that we've talked about over the last year and a half, 2 years. And they'll be there for the FAA to consider as we submit new capital plans going forward. And then the aeronautical survey of obstructions, they did do that. We do have some things that are out there that we're gonna start trying to address, mostly along the far western side of our property line, where there is a what I consider old Oxbow Lake that has a lot of tree growth right off the taxiway, and those trees are of enough height that they're protruding up into the surface that we're not supposed to be penetrating. So that's probably a fall project for us to start work on those, simply because one, there's a lot of them, and two, it's easier without. So. And then there's a few other clusters up to the northeast of the airport that are also coming up into that area above the surface that we're just going to be denoting. That'll become part of the pilot information for flying in. And I know it's not a NOTAM, it's whatever the NOTAM becomes when it becomes like a permanent node on the airport. So that will be done with this remapping. Any questions?
My initial take on this, and I think, Jim, tell me if you remember this too. I thought this was supposed to take about 18 months and we're now way past that. Do we know why it's taking this long?
Well, so I just wanted you to know that actually this slide was not updated in this. So just so you know, that actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 have all been 100% completed, just so you know.
Yeah, I
That was for
know,
Farmer.
and the idea was that
The only thing left is the airport layout plan and the airport capital program plan. So these two things are completed.
Yeah, and I thought the original plan was we would have this like a month and a half or 2 months ago, and that would already be in city commission. And
Yeah,
we
no,
would
it's
see,
not.
and that didn't happen.
Not,
Do we know why they're this far behind?
no.
Okay.
Do they give you a percentage of completion for the next example?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
about
they're
75.
literally, I mean, those 6 and 7
Are the only ones
are pretty
left.
much done. I mean, they're probably like sitting at 90% based on the conversations I've had with them, because on this one today, we saw the entire plan, okay, for the capital improvement plan. And on this, they had to have this to finish this, and this is done. And we've already talked to the FAA about all of it. So I think it's pretty good that Central Region has given us like, yeah, this is good. We're happy with what you've done.
Okay, so the summary is that 5 of the 8 are done for sure, all 100%, and the other 3 are.
No.
6 out of 8 are done.
Okay,
This wasn't updated. Number 6, the latest update says existing and ultimate condition mappings completed. That's what that is. It's completed. And the airport improvement plan also completed. So now it's just a question of pulling it all together and going through and editing, or maybe doing some grammatical look at it. And so he said about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is gonna be finalized really soon.
So we're coming for landing.
Yeah, you're practically on the taxiway up to the apron. Sorry, I'm just even further. We're way past flying. And so this is almost done.
okay.
And I
don't know what the original timeline was, because I barely came in at the beginning of
Oh,
this. 'Cause
I
didn't start
understand
working
that.
on
I'm
fuel
just
until
asking
24.
why Garver hasn't offered an explanation about why.
I'm not worried about it at this point. So, yeah.
Well, I am, because now we've got this and 2 or 3 other things that we really have to look at this
Right.
towards the end of the year.
right.
And the anticipation that I think many of us had is that this would be much less
Gone.
gone and we
Yeah.
could deal with the other stuff. So that's why I'm asking about the sequencing
Right.
of this.
I
I'm not
apologize.
mad or anything. I just want to know what's going on.
I apologize. This PowerPoint was on the team site and Aaron updated it on his OneDrive. And so now we've got
That
2
doesn't
complete
matter, as long as I know
versions.
what's done and what isn't. that's
Yeah, no,
fine.
you're fine. You're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
But no, I've not had any communication from Garver on being delayed. I don't know if the original was 18 months. I've not gone back and read. the
that's
original
basically,
contract.
Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we would have seen it by June.
Yeah, that we were summer of this year. Is when they said.
Yeah,
But
but this is summer.
it's still hot. It's still-
Yeah. It's still hot and honestly, with us only meeting every other month, so they could have had it for us in
But we
September.
already warned people that we would do special meetings if we had it, so.
Right.
You know, that doesn't fly with me.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know where we are and we've at least got a status report on it.
No, and we're in a good spot and they've gone through all the right steps and, you know, in the meantime, we've been getting in a lot of grant money and projects are moving and design is occurring, so a lot of moving parts and pieces for what I would say is not that huge of a piece of property for the city.
Okay, does anybody have any other comments on the master plan? Just be aware that when you do get them, we may wind up with a special meeting at some point. And it would have, in any special meeting, there's one topic only. And we'd have to publish the agenda 2 days in advance, so we'll consult with you. Now, we've already got one potential already on the
Right.
calendar here that we'll talk about. Okay,
And
Melissa, are you ready on?
yep, I'm ready on the next one, so minimum standards. I was really excited and thought we were gonna be bringing these to you in completed form for this particular meeting. Well, let me tell you, it didn't work that way. What we got was probably based on the instructions that were given to the outside consultant. But given the amount of education that I've had in the last 30 days around airports, I started reading through it and I'm like, no, this is not what we're looking for. So anyway, just to fly back, we're in the same time frame. We started 2 big projects relative to what we've done at this airport in a long time. Right back here at the end of 23. So we got really aggressive. That's probably my fault. And then we held some tenant meetings right after the first of this part of the year. At this point, I was still tracking to have Scott Wagner here. Okay. And then I find out that we didn't get the comment sent. So I get that sent. But this company, I think they're very busy and with no one pushing, it's sat. We received these a week and a half ago. It was a Sunday. They came in, started going through them and recognized this is not what we're looking for. A lot of it's not bad. It's just stuff that should probably be in airport rules and regulations. Hence the title of the agenda item has changed. So Kathleen, next one. So that brings in the next timeline. So again, I'm your interim airport manager. I'm playing this on TV. And I'm trying to be off screen right now. But we have now contracted, Kathleen and I have worked with the city attorney's office and on the advice of Scott when he was leaving, which turned out to be really good advice. Tim Rogers, who has just retired from the Salina Airport, he was their executive director for some period of time, was also a director at an airport out in the Colorado Springs region, I believe, has agreed to come in on retainer basically with us, and he is working a defined scope with us, and part of that includes dealing with stuff like this. And so I'm pretty excited. Our first meeting with him that I had with him anyway, 2 hours, we spent going over the copy of the minimum standards and going back and forth about what I was seeing, what he was seeing, and what we agreed to was we needed airport rules and regs first, and that the minimum standards will come in to complement that. If anybody in this room knows more than I do, please argue with me, but that's the direction that Tim and I decided to go, and he's very seasoned. So we are, he's finishing up going through what should be left in the minimum standards, okay, that AMGFC, I don't know, anyway, whatever it is, whatever they said that actually makes sense to leave in minimum standards as minimums, right? What we were getting into was a whole bunch of stuff like, can you set your trash can out on Tuesday kind of things? Like, you know, it was way too much detail for what we were talking about. So finishing that part up, and then I have started going through the Salinas airport rules and regs, and I'm editing them for basically, is this something we need here now? Is this something we might want to have so it's available to us in the future? But what else doesn't make sense or should make sense? So I feel pretty good because these are ones that will then help us. Because first of all, this language that would end up in the airport rules and regs, which I've only found a one sheeter somewhere that we found hanging on a wall at the airport, and I cannot find documentation within the city. That's a problem, okay, for an airport with the amount of traffic we have. So those rules and regs, we will be hopefully, that's the next, I think the next agenda item we'll talk about, but I would like to get those on the books. And they will go in concert with the minimum standards as a reference. And what I'd like to try to do is bring them to you at a special meeting in September. They're basically, they can be changed, but they will be adopted by either an ordinance or resolution. I'm not sure which it'll end up as, but I think it's an ordinance because we want some teeth in it that allows the city for enforcement. So let's say somebody's decided to store their nuclear waste, bucket in their hangar. I want to be able to bring in the appropriate city official, whether it's police, fire, or code, to be able to do some enforcement there. And that way it's not just on the airport manager to try to, convince you it's a bad idea or whatever. So hopefully we can get that moving through and adopted before the end of the year. But the goal is that we bring them to you to go through and review in September, along with what would be left in the minimum standards, which would really just pertain to those special aeronautical uses out there, not so much like books and tea hangers, which the rules and regs cover anybody. So, yes, sir.
Okay, so.
I assume that, we'll talk about this next month too, but presumably these would be published on the airport part of the city website,
Oh,
et
gosh,
cetera.
yes.
Yeah, it'd be good to post them out there, yeah.
And a lot of edits need to be done.
Oh, sure.
Which were started, but not, and I found Scott Wagner's name out there. So we'll fix that in the next week or so.
Great.
But the goal is that
You'll be
these would,
posting them.
right, you guys would recommend them after you've read through them and made any tweaks that you think we need to make. Recommend them up to the governing body, the city commission, and then they would adopt them. There may be a public comment period, so there may be like a 30-day comment period, so that way other airport users or others who have opinions on airport rules and regs can make comment. And so it would probably take a first reading at the governing body level and a second reading for approval and then for it to go into effect.
Do we need to have a tenants meeting or anything like that?
Well, that's something we can discuss tonight
Yeah.
because, again, whatever we're looking to do, I just know that from the FAA's perspective and our Part 13 compliance, these two items, the regs and the minimum standards, are really important foundational things for us on all the other work that I still have yet to do.
Yeah, help me understand. I want to make sure that I understand how this works. We have the document that Jeff Coleman gave us from AMCG, that his was minimum commercial operator standards at the airport. And what we're doing is taking an example, for example, from like the Salina Airport, and I know you have other examples
Yes.
from other airports, and yanking what needs to be in ordinance or resolution and combining it with part of what's in the minimum standards from Jeff.
Yes.
And making a set of rules and regulations that will regulate the airport, and then the rest will have to do with leases and SASO. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Can you, just really quickly here, because the next slide is kind of going to get a little more meaty, but they're enforceable by city code.
Yes.
And they will reference the minimum standards. When we adopt things by reference, it simply means that you can update those things more
Correct. And
easily.
that was my next.
Right, because they're adopted by reference, so we just have to keep the latest draft of the minimum, or not draft, document of the minimum standards
Yeah.
out there. And those things would come back through you guys. And then lease terms and conditions would be updated as necessary. It's part of the FAA compliance with grant assurances, but it's also part of, as we're going through and we're entering in, say, new leases or whatever on parcels going forward, that we would be looking at these to make sure that the leases back up and support the rules and regs and the minimum standards, okay? Because they all
This will be my,
kind of fall into line.
this will be my last question.
Mhm.
How do you distinguish between those two sets of things?
The minimum standards and
And the rules and what is the distinction
the distinction.
that we're using the
This is
criteria?
this is for additional things for basically commercial uses. That's how I'm seeing it. Okay,
The minimum standards.
the minimum standards, right,
Standards.
right, right. Where the airport rules and regs applies to anybody and everybody that's out there. Now, some of it applies more to a commercial than it would to just someone in a T hangar, because you may not be generating garbage or something. I keep coming back to garbage because there's a section on garbage.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like an operating.
It's operating standards. It's like, how are you nice to your neighbor?
Yeah.
I look at these as city codes.
Yeah.
So your grass can't be this high. You can't be loud at night. Can't shine a spotlight on your neighbor, that kind of stuff.
No alcohol.
Right.
before.
Where when we get into this kind of stuff, it's gonna spell out certain things that if you're generating revenue at an airport or something to that effect, it's gonna talk about that. But a lot of it ends up in the lease terms and conditions that are negotiated.
Hmm.
Okay, but these set the threshold for which we lead from here.
Okay, I just need to understand where the.
Well, trust me, it took me a while.
Yeah.
Coming at it from, middle of nowhere in the dark.
Sure.
But I feel comfortable again with Tim, who's on our team now, who's done lots of this to get where we need to be over the next while.
How long have you contracted with Tim?
He's been on board about 3 weeks.
Sorry, I meant the other direction. How long is he planning to be with us?
I have him up through December right now on, it's kind of like, it's a fixed cost per month and, a base number of hours and he has to spend more time, he has to. And he'll be out here next week, to do a tour at the airport.
Thank you.
Friday.
Right. Oh, this week, Friday.
So
Or no, Friday.
the special meeting,
Yeah.
starting on September 10th, we're gonna go through all three of these documents, airport rules and regulations.
There's only two documents.
The lease
Gotcha. We won't go through these terms because those are for, gotcha. We'll go through both of those.
I thought September 10th, we're doing master plan. What are we doing September 10th?
That was for this.
This, okay, never mind.
Okay,
All right.
next slide.
Sorry,
Okay.
jumping ahead, I thought.
Yeah, no, yeah. So anyway, what I'm hoping to do, because again, we have a good base document we're working off of. I should be able to pull this off by a week from Friday, okay? In fact, I'm almost done, at least with the airport rules and regs, because I had a good base document, okay? And the minimum standards, that's Tim's work. He's calling through that and to send it back to me. So then what I want to do is I want to distribute those out as soon as I can. So my goal is that following Monday that I will distribute out or place out somehow on the web these drafts, okay? Because they're going to become public documents and once I finish my work, anybody could, call and ask for them because I've talked about them in here. So we'll get those posted out there. We'll let you guys know they're out there. You can start looking at them and doing whatever you like to do. If you're Clancy, you want to write all over it. If you're somebody else, you want to load it in and destroy it and then, create it as a Word document, whatever. But that's what we'll want to do. I'm proposing, again, a September 10th meeting. And if you can't be here in person, if we all want to be on Teams or Zoom or whatever, we can do that, if it's easier. And then the whole concept here is if we get approval here, these can then roll into a commission meeting in October. Okay? But again, you're going to have that 30-day period, another vote, which would likely occur in November after the new governing body is seated. So that may hang us up. So I can't guarantee anything because I only can guarantee what I can tell you I might do for you if you approve it. And then implement, that would come in after that 30-day time frame, and we can start working through that. That aligns with some other stuff. Next slide. Okay, so just real quick, I know I wanted to show you, I did a smattering of other Big 12 airports just to kind of get an idea, since we have the university town effect, and I think that's important. And I've spent some time on the phone with my former city manager up in Ames, Iowa too, talking about how he runs and operates the Ames Airport that I grew up next to. So anyway, long and the short of it is that these are the typical sections that these are the sections that were in the SLINA. So your definitions, it leads with that. Enforcement penalties, including administrative and court proceedings. So those are stuff that I'll have to work through with our city attorney and their staff to make sure that whatever I have in there is how the city of Lawrence manages and operates those types of functions, because it can vary slightly from municipality to municipality within the state of Kansas. Safety and security, that's one where I think we have a lot of work to do. I'm going to take what they have in there, but then we need separate documents that we're going to have to develop over the next while. I've currently got several staff calling through documents that have been accredited by the American Public Works Association in this space. But also we'll be working with Tim to look at whatever we find and from best practice and what that looks like. And then some of this stuff is ultimately going to generate budgetary items into the future, because right now I can go up, I can push a button, I can drive in. Nobody asks who the heck I am. I mean, one day I may have purple hair, the next day I may be wearing a hat, I might have sunglasses on, I might be dressed like a man. No one knows who I am. Because from what I can tell, there's no camera, nothing. So those are things that I see that we can work on to improve our airside security. And then just the aircraft rules and regulations section. This one is another huge one that I see a big opportunity on motor vehicle rules and regs. Another one that's in here is actually like stuff like personal pets. And these are all things that I, like, as I'm reading this, I'm observing things that I've seen occurring that I'm hearing, oh, others don't allow this to happen. Not that I didn't think it when I saw it out there, but we are pretty loose. Loose is the
So we
word
can't keep allowing this out there.
Well, I mean, the raccoon that ran across the runway the other day when I was out there, after we just paid for wildlife removal, was very disheartening to me. So, but he's not someone's personal dog
Right.
that is not on a leash that's on the apron. So those are the types of things that this stuff we'll get into, and that we're just going to have to take a different approach to, which I think is good for everybody because it sets a standardized expectation, but it is going to be change. And I know a lot of people don't handle change. I like making change. So you're just gonna have to go, hey, Melissa, moving too far, too fast. So I'm like, if I can tear it up, blow it up, destroy it, and put it back together, I'm always happy. So, okay. So long and the short of it, this is what is the sections they have. Some other ones that we saw, common gate use and policy procedures, some things we may want to think about as we're looking at this. Snow and de-icing. I know I've received some complaints of some complaints about grass. Some of this stuff, is it operating rules and regs, or is it standard operating procedures for how my staff operates the facility? So we'll kind of have to look at that, and I want to keep those two things separate, and you will see those other things as they come through too. So, and then fire regulations, yada, yada, yada. So, and rates and fees and charges, we'll have, Kathleen and we have a separate kind of rate ordinance that the city does. So we'll want to look at how we address that in the rules and regs by reference or by noting that there's a regulation section that it would have to go to, because we won't keep those within this, because you don't want to have to open up the entire thing every time.
Yeah.
One ordinance, one time with the budget. Sorry, I've been doing city management too long. So that's how we'll try to have that be made in there. And then there's some other stuff that we don't necessarily have now, but we might want to put in case that use shows up. So, okay.
So we have a lot of work to do in the next month.
No,
Busy.
I'm not worried. All right, next up, 2 weeks. It's almost done. So
It
agenda.
would be amazing to get all this foundational stuff.
Most really quick.
Yeah.
and Tell me if I'm jumping ahead. So if we can talk about that September 10th. meeting,
Yeah, that would be,
Or am I ahead?
well, yeah, you're ahead. It's on here. We'll get there. Okay, so next item up is,
If you're not available.
I'm sorry, but I'm planning my resignation effective next week. No,
I'm available.
it is on here. Okay, so this next one,
I can do it.
Kathleen, I'll let her take this one and then I'll take the next couple pages.
Okay, well, so
you know, I think I mentioned this at the last meeting. So I contacted the FCC and then also the company that originally was managing our license. And just a little information here, it expired in 2020. And the reminder letter actually was sent to the former, a former employee at the city attorney's office back in July. So there was July of 2020. So there was some letter that was sent. It was during the pandemic. I don't know. Anyway, it got missed, obviously. So, but given the expiration occurred greater than 90 days ago, we can't renew. We have to basically get a new license. All right. So, we're gonna get a new call sign and,
You know, it won't be LWC.
No,
We don't
it's the
know
radio,
anything.
not
We
the
don't know.
airport, is it?
It won't be, yeah. So the company that coordinates these licenses, is TFM.com Inc. And, they facilitate the new licenses. It only costs like $400. And so we've submitted our application, we paid the $400 and they came back and told us that we should expect it sometime in September. So, next month, soon.
Do we care about the new call sign?
Yeah, Kathleen, maybe we should, maybe we should just clarify what you're saying. We're not getting a new airport identifier. Like,
No,
it's
no,
still-
whatever Unicom is, I don't even know what it is.
It's 123.0.
Okay.
No, well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. Nobody is gonna be using the call sign. It's a
Right.
station designator,
Yeah,
not a call
Okay.
sign.
the numbers stay the same. It's,
numbers
the numbers stay the same. Yeah,
But I mean, I'm not used to that lingo.
yeah, that's why I wanted to like clarify, like,
CC lingo, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not lingo, I know. I just know that the compliance for Part 13 brought this up. We started looking into it and Kathleen was the one that solved for it. And we as a city used to have multiple of these, but over the last number of years, we've kind of dropped them back because we don't need them anymore because we switched the technology that we're using for different stuff. So there's multiple ways this apparently fell through cracks, but like no one had mentioned it to me since I started. It was.
I've been after Scott for 2 years.
Well, and
Once I found out about it. yeah.
right, and once we just went to the source, we're gonna be done in less than 3 months.
That's awesome.
Okay, so, all right, next one.
Oh, if anybody wants to know the difference between Unicom and CTAP, contact Doug Tillman. He has a
Yeah.
beautiful article about it.
Yes, I read his.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so just some other updates as it relates to the Part 13, not a lot of detail here again. But we've been contacting all the folks that are on our T-hanger wait list because there was like 48 of them.
Yeah, I got an email.
Yeah, and alls we did was, are you still interested in being on it? That was my intern, by the way. It's great intern work. And then I think we need to consider our policy for the wait list. Because I think we dropped off 10. And I don't know if we should have some sort of standard where we're reaching out every 6 months. Are you still interested in staying on? That in, some amount of information, because
We should regularize it, yeah.
right, and I think there's a draft policy that we found that was sitting out there, God knows who did it. But we're gonna work through that one. I think that'll be another thing that we bring back to you guys. That one should be fairly non-dramatic and fairly non-controversial, but I do think standardizing our contact with people is gonna be a good practice, just so that I think if we've had one come up in the last 5 years, I don't know, but when we start making that call and we're down 10 people, and then we've had people call in and say, hey, I want to be on the list, and we're like, oh, you're number 52. Well, that's maybe not really honest, because there's maybe not 52 people, maybe there's 15 that actually would have skin in the game, so.
You'll need some protocols on that. For
Yes.
example, if somebody is just putting their name on it because they don't have an airplane, then if they turn down a hangar because they don't have anyone, they need to go to the bottom of the list.
Well, and there was some reference to some notes on one of the files, and I'm like, I don't know, I want a procedure, a policy, I want it in place, I want everybody to know what it is, and it doesn't matter who picks up the phone, they know where it's at, so we're working on that.
You either take the hangar or you don't.
Yeah,
Either put an airplane in it or
you're in or you're out.
Yeah,
And then on non-aeronautical uses, there's some mention of that in our part 13, which you all have seen. We're working through that, trying to figure out sort of what the next steps are. So more to follow on that. I don't really have any update other than it's taking up capacity and taking up time, on our end. So that's why I wanted to let you know that that's something we're working on. And, these are longstanding things that have been going on again, just like not having real formalized rules and regulations. And so
We are moving towards, no, not aeronautical use, correct?
I would actually like some thought from the board on
I
that.
think we should be, yeah.
Okay.
The non-aeronautical, wasn't that, didn't that stem from the FAA's inspection?
Yeah, the land use, sorry, I said part 15 is the land, yeah, it's the land use, it's the land.
it's the land
inspection
use and
report.
compliance.
Sorry, to me, they're all merged together because I'm updating them
Okay.
on all of it. all the
Yeah.
time.
No, do we have, I'm thinking T hanger for first. Do we have T hangers that are being used for
Yeah.
non-air? Real?
Yes.
Yes, that came up.
Well, that's part of
T
the,
hangers? I know we had like other hangers, like actual.
Oh, I
T
don't know
hangers.
about T.
Well, we're,
don't, that's what we talk about. Sorry, I don't know who's online and we don't have the right to share a lot of information right
It's fine.
So what I will tell you is, working through this, on the T hanger side and then on the non-aeronautical side, in correspondence with the FAA, trying to understand sort of what our rights are, what opportunities we have, we don't. But I am interested in those of you that are here. Do we have one board member online?
Yeah, Willem's.
Well, I'm online. Okay, just, I mean, again, non-aeronautical, typically you have a wait list, isn't allowed, for the FAA, okay?
How many are on the wait list, by the way?
38.
38 now?
Now, there were
Okay.
46.
So yeah, I mean, I think we have a wait list of 30 plus people. I'm again, more thinking T hangers right now.
Well, and that's the thing, is that doesn't matter the way our.
Sure, well, T hangers or non-T hangers, I think it's fair to say, like, we have 30 people waiting on the wait list for T hangers and somebody storing their cars in the T hangers, like, to me, that doesn't make sense, like.
Right.
I think every airport goes through this, El Monte Airport in California, where I last flew before I came here. You know, stuff had kind of fallen by the wayside on enforcement, and one guy was running a motorcycle repair shop out of a hangar and stuff, and we had to get
Makes sense,
back
right?
to this
Right.
non-aeronautical, because then there was a wait list, you know? I mean, it happens, so
Yeah.
I'm in favor of.
It
not
also
letting them-
affects other things.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Sure. But
yeah, okay.
Okay, well, general consensus, more to follow on that, but, just so you know, a lot of work in this space again. We're not sitting still at all. Okay,
We didn't think you would.
yeah, okay.
Can I come back to the Unicom license? Okay, so I have the email from the company pulled up. And so I don't know what this, maybe you could tell me. So the FRM.
That's the number that you use
The
to
number-
access.
00022965150.
That is an access number that you use for the FCC.
Oh, okay then. And then, so what I said in the PowerPoint is that it's just the call sign that's changing. So the call sign used to be WQMN 670.
And that's just fine.
Okay.
So it doesn't get
I'm not
used.
sure, they didn't refer at all to any change in.
It's a station license.
Yeah, they didn't refer to that at all,
Yeah,
just so you know.
it doesn't get used on air.
But if you want, I can contact and ask.
No, it doesn't.
Sounds like we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I
Yeah, we're good.
don't think anybody knows whatever the heck it was anyway.
No.
Nobody's asked in 5 years.
Right.
I
We
think the
don't-
real
we don't
concern
use
was if
it.
LWC turned into something else.
Yeah, I think that was the good.
Yeah.
Also, when we have to apply for a license if it doesn't stop you from trans.
I know, because people transmit when we're out there. I mean, okay, so anyway, next one.
Like, if we not missing it long.
Okay, so
Okay,
5. We're at 5 now on agenda items. This is the one where I ask, if you're interested and we can get attendance for a September 10th meeting.
Sure, I'm available. I stuck in my calendar.
Jim?
Or actually, I.
Well, if we gotta get you reappointed.
Well, facts.
Where was
Well,
he?
he's there. Okay.
That's the next agenda.
Yeah,
D.
well,
I'm gonna be in town that day if I'm on the.
you're gonna be here.
So we already have.
What about Willem? Can we ask him?
Ask him. Willem, are you there? There he is.
Willem, will you be available, for a board meeting on September tenth?
I should be. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I had audio problems earlier, so that's in case you talked to me, I didn't hear anything, but
No,
I'm here now. No, I
should.
should be available, yes.
Okay, great. That really is helpful. Looks like, we'll follow with Ron Renz as well, just to make sure we've covered everybody.
Yeah, I got it on the calendar, so. it's-
Okay,
should be fine, yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
No, I won't. be
Mhm.
here.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it was random that it turns out that
I
it
may
worked,
be zooming.
and she may be
I may be
zooming, but
But
she'll have the zoomies. Okay.
like my cat.
Yeah, my dad, yeah, the dogs. Okay, next slide. All right. Do we need a vote on that, Clancy? I would feel better if we have a vote to.
On the special
approve the
meeting?
10th September. 10th.
Okay,
Special
may I have a motion to have a special meeting on September tenth to review airport rules, regulations and operating standards?
Movie.
yes, so moved.
Okay, Sarah
I'll second.
and Jim second, all in favor? Aye. Willem?
Willem, did you vote yes or no?
Yeah, you're muted.
He's okay.
I'm having trouble with the audio again. So say that
okay.
again, sorry. What are we voting on?
Just- It was for the September 10th meeting,
Yeah.
just to say that we have a motion that was approving it. Okay.
Yes, I voted for.
And what I
in favor,
would
yeah.
recommend is the 6 o'clock time
Yeah.
slot that we
Yeah.
typically
Here?
use. Here.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in favor.
We must have talked about it last month, because it's on my calendar.
I said,
No.
He's like, I gotta be there.
Kathleen said.
I thought you all agreed already.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's
good.
why we got that.
No, you're just saying.
You saved the date for us.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we're all free at 6 o'clock then.
Next one.
Okay,
Okay, so just some updates from myself and the team, including Kathleen and others. So this was kind of a last minute. We recognized that there was this opportunity to attend the airport executives intensive 1 week training on running and managing airports. And so yeah, and the next time was November, which I felt like with what we had going on here between the land use and the Part 13 and the director transition, blah, 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 all of it. Let's go. So Kathleen and I bucked it up and flew out. I had a horrible set of experiences trying to get out there. She had no fun getting back. I barely got back. But what happened is we spent a week in very intensive training with this fine cadre of individuals. This was my table and I ended up stuck here. I don't know why, but Kathleen had her own table, but we were together for a week, learning about everything and anything that you could possibly imagine. I feel like I'm slightly more confident. I still intend to sit for the exam. I had a pre-scheduled 50th birthday friends weekend on the Friday when they took the exam. So I've been in my book. I'm still going at it. I'm gonna get certified.
Cool.
And
We're gonna do it.
it's amazing.
Books is the
Um,
180 question exam.
FAA written.
The gentleman who was teaching the class, which I don't know, yeah, he's right here. Yeah, his name is Jeff. He, yes, very famous, apparently in the aviation space. He did Jeopardy with us, and everything else. It was intense. And competitive. Some of these people have like real jobs in aviation. And I'm sitting there going, like, lawyer. But it was pretty cool. And he was being interviewed that week because that's when the no more taking off your shoes thing hit with the FAA or TSA, I'm not sure which. I think it's FAA announced that the TSA would no longer be doing shoes. But anyway, I get them all confused. Long and the short of it is he was very good. And I think we learned learned a lot. I understand things coming up off the airfield, and I could tell you the names of them if I looked at something, one part of it's a horizontal surface. Anyway, so long and the short of it is lots to know, lots to understand.
It was
but
worth it.
It was absolutely worth it. So
Yeah.
thank you, taxpayers of the city of Lawrence for supporting that. We have something coming up that I have received nothing on in the last 30 to 6 days, 30 to 60 days. This is that hangout at the hangar. Is there anybody here involved in that?
I got an email like maybe 2 weeks ago, no, maybe a week ago. Time flies, 2 weeks ago, we'll call it.
Yeah.
I talked to Peggy, I
Who's Peggy?
found out, she's with the United Way.
Oh, okay, good.
And then maybe Derek or Doug, I think it's Derek Rogers. who
Oh, Rogers.
Coordinates as an
Yeah.
airport tenant. I'm not on the board, I know nothing about it, other than they wanted an aircraft for static display.
Oh, yeah.
And we agreed to go ahead and put some aircraft out there. That is the last thing.
Yeah, and I think I responded,
Yeah,
and you
I think I
responded.
responded.
If I'm back,
Well, if
Then I
it's
was
just,
the static
if
display
anybody can
event, yeah.
loop me in on that,
Yeah.
it may be going to Scott's, email. We've got, I mean, his email's
Yeah.
technically dead. We have the
Yeah, well,
airport
yeah.
manager email, which fits a ton of stuff into it every day, and I can barely keep up with my email, so.
I'm
Yeah.
forwarding you Derek's email.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know Derek, so I can deal with Derek.
We haven't gotten any sponsorship information, any sort of dinner, or I haven't seen it, I'm pretty active. I haven't seen any sort of invitation or any sort of graphic that they normally post.
Yeah, it's just getting really close to this date and I was panicking, so that's why it showed up on here. So if there's something you need
Actually,
from,
Derek had an attachment that's like the poster, but
okay. All right, well, more to follow on that. I just wanted to put it on APB on that one. I need some help.
last year,
Well, I mean,
The
do
whole
we
board-
have to do anything, the city, or
the
you?
last
all
year, the
have it
whole
under
board,
control?
we just went to
and
be
I don't
present,
know-
yeah.
I don't know who paid for that.
Yeah, no clue.
I didn't,
I went, I don't know if
The dinner,
but the entire board was there last
Yeah,
year.
we had like a whole table.
we did.
Derek, you guys think you can care.
Scott just told us to go.
Okay, well, more to follow. I just need a contact and I will get.
I got your contact.
Good.
Send it to you.
Appreciate it, appreciate it. I'm assuming someone's working with them out there,
Yeah,
but
and Derek, I think, you're gonna do your airplane. I said I would do mine if I'm back.
Yeah.
And I think your dad was gonna do this. too.
Derek knows me, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Aviation youth camp feedback, I don't know if we got any from anybody, if there was
They
anything.
need somebody to run it. Katie didn't have to do it.
I do.
Well, I know, but it's a Parks and Rec program.
Well,
Yeah, but they want to do
so
they just part registration.
I don't do all the manual labor, so that's what good for. They set up the tents. and-
Well, if somebody would like to get with me that was part of it out there, because I want to know what expectations, because as we get to some of my last item on here tonight, I want to make sure that I'm meeting the board's expectations, on the recruitment.
Well, the 99s have always been a part of it way before I lived here, and the Parks and Rec always says co-sponsored with the 99s and the city of Lawrence, blah, blah, blah. So if you chat about it, you should have a 99. It could be me, it could be somebody else, it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
There should be.
Well, when is the next
something
camp?
Next May.
Oh, so it's a while.
Right, but if we don't talk about it,
Yeah.
it won't get.
Yeah,
But so there needs to be the city, the airport, and the 99s, and Parks and Rec is city too, but yeah.
I would say the last 2 years, we've kind of got it down to we have like a note stock, or at least I do.
You
It's very simple, like we have 2 meetings usually and one kind of refresher meeting to make sure everyone's in their place. Other than that, the planning is not intensive, other than just finding pilots, finding tents. That's really the intensive.
It's
part.
because she wrote really good.
Well, but there are things like, I'm pretty sure that we need to do shirts and charts this year, because I know Scott ordered a bunch of shirts, but if what we saw, I think we've gotten down to.
Okay, so it's like, let's.
And at some point, we need, I don't have any charts.
Well, I'm gonna say Sarah and Katie, if we could just meet and I can have an inventory hold of what's in Scott's old office and we can go from there. But
Yeah.
my money's not gonna reach the whole 1 on anyway, so,
Yeah.
I'm not spending it.
Well, that's.
Already doing budget adjustments, like
ones you needed on the list.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I just remember that 2 years ago, Scott ordered a boatload of shirts and stuff, and we finally figured out how to.
And stuff, and I think we have kind of gone.
So we'd be happy to donate and,
Yeah.
and take care of the shirts.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have the shirt, I made the shirt order, so we're
Okay.
okay there. I have all that.
Okay, you have like the graphics.
I
Good.
I re-digitized it, so.
All right,
Okay,
perfect. The right people are in the room or, okay. All right, so good. I just want to make sure that I wasn't dropping anything.
No.
But the next big thing, excitement, right here. 6 months from now, we'll have a new airport general manager.
Hold on.
Time
Where are they gonna station?
to be determined. For the moment, I'm getting a full-time.
Who's happy about that?
Get a round of applause. Very good.
Hallelujah.
Yes, so, we have a person that should be under contract, within the next week. Her name is Lindsay, I think it's, but I'm not sure. Yeah, and she's the one that I'm working with my HR, person here with an MSO on. We've got a professional services agreement like Kathleen did with Tim Rogers for us. With her to help us draft job description and then make sure that what we have in it will comp and class out where we need it to, and then do the advertising and recruitment for us. We'll take the interviewing and selection on our own. Okay, so we'll be talking about what that looks like. The time frame for probably interviews is likely December or late November, which is not ideal, but this tends to be when a lot of people do hiring, so it's all good. But that is kind of the time frame we're on, because once she's finished the work pulling stuff together, then we have to get HR to approve the reclassification. Now, the city manager and I have been talking, so he knows this is coming, that it's kind of this natural move to a full-time airport general manager, which a general manager for us, just so you know, within my department, it's the director. We have a deputy in this case, then we have an assistant, and then we have general managers. So it would sit where we report up under my leadership structure, which meets with me on Tuesday mornings. But we have some autonomy working directly with the airport on a day-to-day basis. So pretty excited about that. And then Kathleen and I, as part of our, future budget, have already looked at, and I've forecasted out with the city manager, other positions that we're gonna have to bring on board just to not have our grass get low. Things of that nature. So,
Yeah, so that's in the budget too.
right, that's from a personnel perspective, but we're also looking at other options or opportunities, how we might address things differently. So just know that once I get the description, I will share that with you, whether it's September meeting or the October meeting. I'll put it as an attachment for reaction before we start advertising. But the idea is that we want to make sure we're looking for the right attributes in this individual that will be coming on during a time of transition, obviously for our airport as we, become more professional in our operations out there. So pretty excited. I'm also pretty sad that I have another 5 months to try and keep up. So it's not easy doing 3 jobs because 2 was hard enough. So any questions?
No, but thank you. You're doing a good job. Essentially.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing what I can, and I've got a team of people behind me. And just so you all understand, when we bring this new person in, the folks that are helping are gonna disappear because we've recognized that there's more to this than apparently was recognized in the past. And we will continue to keep up that level of support. And the other big thing is, we're getting ready to start this corridor study, and the airport's very intentionally within the study area. So that's been delayed a little bit. We've been working with our consultant that we're trying to bring on, HNTB, to kind of finish finalizing out the language in the contract. And that's taken a little bit because it's split between fiscal years and trying to make sure we have the right stuff in the load for this year versus next year, and since it's taking a little longer than it had to shift again, so just know that's gonna be coming, and, that's gonna be a process that the aviation board as well as tenants at the airport are gonna wanna be engaged in, and, landowners from downtown to the airport, so. That's all I have. I'm sorry that, it's taken so long to get through all of this.
There's a lot there.
Okay, any other questions?
Okay. Board items, and the only thing that I see missing on the agenda is an FBO report, but we can ask Lloyd to do that. Yep, that's some.
Sorry, no, it didn't make the agenda. That's my
Yeah,
fault.
okay. Sarah Thompson has been reappointed for 3 years to the board. We're waiting on what's going on with Jim. I have pinged the city commission to try to find out. You haven't heard anything, right?
I applied. Took a screenshot and sent it to them because they said they did not have me.
Yeah,
Since I went through it and sent it to, have you guys seen anything? And they said, we have no application review. So I redid it and I got to like check mark thing and you're done.
Uh-huh.
Took a screenshot and sent back to them and said,
I'll message
did you get it? And got no response. My assumption was yes, if I got the green check mark. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember seeing the green check mark.
Okay.
Last time I did it, so it might be my fault, the reason I didn't get through, but I did do it before the date. So I don't know whatever happened, but.
You never got contacted by, a city commissioner now.
did you get a contact?
Oh, I had to answer scenario questions from the
From
city
who?
commissioner, from Amber. She sent me really detailed,
For the reappointment?
yeah, remember?
No, I
I
don't.
told you about
Oh,
that,
you probably did.
yeah. It was pretty
I'll try that.
detailed, yeah. I was like, oh, that was-
Okay, Jim, do you want me to, I can ping again. but-
I think. I'm also big.
Okay,
just be, they.
I'm gonna assume I'm-
These
that's all
things
now.
too.
There you go. Just keep coming.
Yeah, we like
We won't
you,
kick
Jim,
you
you can do it.
If that will make you honorary board member. I'm sure we're.
I mean, it was okay.
Whatever.
Some of the scenario questions were kind of beyond my pay grade. It's like,
ChatGPT.
I don't know, it's a city.
well, she forgets it. She might
I'm not opinion. I have a problem talking to her.
it's an advisory board.
Right, well, I said that in answer to some of them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, I have a message in. I mean, Sherry and I were talking about this at
Yeah,
the same time with Sarah, but things were apparently in a different spot, so we'll find out what's going on.
okay, great.
And plus, we just, first part of silly season has already started, so now
Yeah,
we're in silly season.
okay. Kansas Airport Association Conference, I am not able to go, but Carrie is gonna go. If there's anybody else who wants to go,
That's one downtown.
no,
Garden
that's
City.
Wine Garden City. I have to be in here to,
It's on your, it's on.
4 states is the one.
That's what I was like, sorry, my brain was working. No, I went to.
Yeah, 4 states is the one.
Yeah, 2 8.
okay, so if anybody else wants to go, contact Melissa and Kathleen to make sure that registration and all that is
We have a board meeting that day, right?
properly. Pardon? We do not, if you look at the next number 6.
It does say October 8th.
It says October 8th.
Yeah, and the Kansas Airport Association is the 1st through the 3rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah,
The following.
okay.
Okay.
4 states conference, you've got what, 5 or 6 city people going?
And what's the date for that?
That's the 21st through the 20th through the 22nd of August.
Oh, yeah, it's soon, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know how many people are going, Melissa, how many people are going from the city?
We have a total of 4 attending, and it's myself, Kathleen, and 2 maintenance folks.
Okay, and I would like to go.
Yep.
This, because I want to go to the, especially the pavement stuff and the compliance stuff.
Yep.
So let me,
And they are doing a special session Central Region told me, on compliance stuff. with-
This is the 4 state one?
yeah,
Okay. That should go.
Kansas.
here's the list of topics. Jim.
I went to that one last year.
Well, they owned a couple years ago. It
Yeah.
is pretty neat.
The expo area was actually interesting.
Yeah,
And, yeah.
and I just
I
pulled
just
that
wanna
down
find
today
out
to see what I
how
want
it's
to
way from
do.
my life.
But there's
burn it.
probably 2 compliance seminars and some other pavement type stuff that I probably won't understand, but I'll probably go
I'm
to.
glad that you're willing
Yeah.
to stretch yourself.
Got it.
Is there anybody else besides Clancy that on the board that is?
I'd like to go to one of them next year, but I got stuff going on.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, Jake, do
I
you?
couldn't make it the whole time, but that Friday, the 22nd, I could definitely be up there.
Yeah, it's usually over by that noon on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 21st, I could probably take it as well for a little bit.
Thank you.
Not to take off any more.
And Carrie, you're right off for Garden City.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do Garden City.
All right, well, there's 5 of us right now. If anybody else decides that they,
How are you getting down?
Why? Well, where did I go?
hey, that's what Clancy was getting at too. She was like, oh.
Well, you're going to take care of a guy with the drink, so. Okay,
Yep, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you can just go to a one day. And it costs $350, so to
well, whatever you guys figured out, I'm gonna go anyway. Okay, the compass rose, we're not gonna do anything until we understand what's going on with the ramp.
Yep.
And we certainly aren't gonna do it in the middle of the World Cup either. So it'll have to be done after that. So I think that's at least a year.
So that'd be for next fall.
Absolutely.
That actually makes sense.
And we probably need to go out and at some point, somebody just needs to give me a diameter on that one. And I can go out with a tape myself and figure out how big it is and whether we want
You
one.
probably won't after we adopt the rules and regs. Won't be allowed to just wander around.
No, darn. Well, I can get special permission.
Like, you know some people.
I think your manager might. let me have it.
If he's not out there, he won't.
Okay.
Better do it soon.
And so at some point, we'll figure out whether we want a 90-foot diameter or 120-foot diameter.
Okay.
On the visioning session, Jim, this is your bright idea, and I think we probably need to do that. Tell me what you want to do about that. I think we need, after we got the master plan and all of these rules and regs in, I think then we need to figure out where we think the airport ought to go, because we'll have virtually everything potentially settled.
Yeah, I think the where I came up with this, it will help greatly if we have a full-time manager. It's tough because I feel like in here we get up the, tidbits. You guys work really hard pedaling when you guys don't have all of the real detail. It'd be nice if we're all working for the same panel.
It would be great.
Yeah,
And obviously it'll be easier when there's someone that can speak the language and do. I mean, even when we had Scott, it wasn't great because he didn't know all this stuff either. So that was where my idea was.
what do you think?
I think it's
Do you want to target February, March?
yeah, I was gonna say
Okay,
Q2, because if the guy gets hired Q1,
Yeah.
give him 90 days to
So maybe April.
I'm gonna assume this dude doesn't live in Lawrence or person doesn't live in Lawrence.
I don't know, but we'll find.
I guarantee they won't come from the.
so we have, so right now we have a December meeting and a February meeting. So I would say March or April would be the right time to do that. And it would have to be a special meeting if it's
Yeah.
a topic like that.
And I think it would be good to them understand whoever's in charge of the airport that, and you don't understand how the city actually works. For us to say, is this something that we can reasonably do? Like, can we add city fueling? Like, we've talked about that conversation a lot. It's never actually happened.
Well, and it's sitting out there in the capital, for self-fueling.
Yeah.
Okay. How it gets managed, whatever, that's more follow, but it's sitting in there as something that we wanted to be able to have authorized within the master plan so that the FAA knew that it was a future item for us. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what I would hate to do is have 4 of us have an idea that we need to be a Part 25 airplane, having a big airplane airport.
Mhm.
2 or 3 of us are like,
Exactly,
we want to be a little airplane. And then we have
Yeah.
opposing ideas, we'll never really talk about them.
yeah,
So that's kind of my.
that,
We've never had
exactly.
that conversation.
Nope.
We haven't had it, so,
No.
okay, so March or April, is that what we?
Yeah,
Or a month or 2 after we hire somebody, okay?
Yep.
All right. I'll just keep bringing it up until we know we got somebody. Okay, the item 6 is just a shift in dates. And we have shifted originally we shifted the October 1 meeting to the 8th because I wasn't gonna be here and other people weren't from the 1st, so I'd like to keep it on the 8th. I'm gonna be taking care of a sick husband, so,
that sounds fun.
well, it's 6'5" guy going up and down stairs with a bad hip.
So they gotta walk right away.
Oh, they'll make him do it. But in any case,
No, you
that's
can-
why I'm not going to KAA. So I'm pretty sure that he can stay home for one evening by October 8th. So does that work for everybody? Then look at the rest of the dates and see what you think.
Kathleen, have you already sent us calendar invites for all these?
She has.
Yeah, you're on
Yeah. This is great. Thank you.
I don't know about, 2026, but
Okay.
it. Don't worry about that.
Well, the only,
I'm good for the rest of the ones. this
the only one that could change, I think, is that, that KAA one in October, because they tend to do it like the first week of October. So it depends on how many of us are going.
And when the first round
And,
live.
well, they always do that. They always started on a Wednesday and ended on a Friday,
Carrie, you.
but there's not much going on Wednesday. usually.
Right, first, is it a 2-day conference or 1-day conference?
I think it's two.
I think the first day though is just like a golf tournament
Yeah.
type of deal, like,
The first day is like registration in the afternoon.
yeah.
And a gathering in the evening, just like at Four States. And then the business is the Thursday and a half a day on Friday.
If you're trying to figure out a way to go, I will wait a day so you can come with me.
Well, I may make it a work trip for me too.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
Garden City.
yeah, that's in my territory, so I can make that happen. My concern is if that's gonna be an overnight, then I need to. So,
I think I have a schedule.
It's an overnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Thursday.
same overnight?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you went Thursday morning, spend the night Thursday, you could leave Friday afternoon.
Okay.
There's not really anything.
Who do I have to tell about?
so, me, I registered you, but you have to pay for your,
Oh,
And here's the, oh, there's
there's a
the,
casino in that town.
that,
Dude, yeah, get distillery too.
Already given all my money to DraftKings,
Yeah.
so we're good.
the registration
Wait,
is
Garden City.
$150.
Yeah.
There,
But on 4 states, the registration's actually $450 now.
Okay.
And you, you have to go to all 3 days. You can't register for just 1 day.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I don't think so, then I can't, yeah. Right, take off that much work right now.
Oh, no, I understand that.
okay. Okay. So are we all good with these dates through 2026? Is that correct?
Well, so far, who knows
Well, I
what
mean,
my life is.
everything's subject to change.
Looks okay.
Okay,
The October, that's about it. Maybe
the eighth?
Yeah.
Can't you do, or should be in Armenia?
I'll be in it, so.
Okay,
seems appropriate to
You
me.
let me know if you want me to register you. Okay.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay.
okay. We did not get an FBO report on the
Assuming I got
agenda.
approved.
Go ahead and stop the share and let's see who's out there still.
If Lloyd's still there and he wants to give one, Lloyd? See if he wants to.
Lloyd, do you have an FBO report for us?
There, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't, Melissa, there was one thing I thought I'd bring up. I got a call from a gentleman that, wanted to do a drone spray application. He implied he talked to you last Friday, and I don't know where to go with it until you guys are okay with it. And then there's a number of things we'd have to, address on, when we do it, how long stuff. Are you in contact with him? What's your thoughts or concerns?
I have not talked to anybody about drones.
so they need to
Okay.
contact you for sure,
Yeah,
Melissa.
Okay, well, I talked to him on Saturday. He had to do it Saturday, and I said, well, that's not gonna happen, without at least talking to the city and we get some more details. He was supposed to send me an email with a picture of where he's spraying and what's involved, so I could forward it on to you, and then you and I could have that discussion. But he implied that he had already talked to somebody at the city on that Friday, and they really didn't give him any solution. So,
No, he talked to Kyle, our engineer.
oh.
yeah, well, I rattled your name off, and he
His name
he
is
jumped on it. But
Sounds cool. Go for it.
yeah,
he's
this is
Up with
this
the
is like a 50-pound drone that sprays. So it's got,
No.
it's got whatever 30 gallons of pesticide on it, and they're going to be right off the approach end of 1.5, and he
No,
needs to do
no,
this for about 3 hours. So
No.
there's a lot of concern that I just want to make
No.
sure we address and see what your thoughts are too.
Now, I would need to talk to him and yeah, Lloyd, we'd have to coordinate. I'm not so certain we're in a spot to do that right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
as far as our rules and regulations, it's okay.
Who has his contact information?
Apparently Kathleen has something.
Okay,
Well, I wasn't worried about it till he can take the time to send me an email so that I could pass it on to you guys. If
Yeah,
it's
no doubt.
so
Well-
urgent, he should have sent me an email by, well, that's last Saturday, and I haven't heard anything. So once I hear some more on it, I'll pass it on to you. I mean, we'll have to coordinate it. We'll have to get a NOTAM issued. There's a lot of work
Yes.
involved, so,
No, that's what I figured, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Well, I'll reach out to you tomorrow after I look at whatever Kathleen's got from our engineer.
Yeah, just see if you got it. It's not as urgent as I thought, I guess, if he hasn't reached out to anybody by now,
Get
so,
approval from the FAA to do it.
yeah. That's all I had, I think, just see if you knew much about that, so,
Nope, didn't, but we're on it.
okay.
okay, thanks, Lloyd. Okay, if there is nothing else, our next regular meeting is October 8th, but our special meeting is September 10th. And I may be back, I'm not sure, or I may be zooming in. If there's no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Clancy,
Wait, hold it. Hold it.
Clancy, this is Larry Kellogg, AOPASN. Just a quick question on the airport regs. Can I get a copy of that when it comes out for review so that I can get it out to Frederick, Maryland and let them look at it too, just in case they have some input?
You said you were gonna put it publicly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, we'll be posting that publicly, on the website and putting it with the notice for the September 10th meeting, so it'll all go out.
That's interesting.
So it'll go out, not only on our agenda management system, but also, be placed on the website.
All right, yeah, because I just
Yeah,
want to
so-
get a copy of that out to them before it becomes set in concrete, just in case there's
Yeah.
something they've cemented.
Yep, and we may have to also, it's gonna go through the governing body too, so we'll be just taking feedback at that September 10th meeting on anything, and it may delay it another month before it gets to commission, so
There'll be time for comment.
it'll be time for
When,
comment
when
for
do you
sure.
think it'll be out? When do you think it'll be out on the city website?
Well, no later than September 1st, possibly before.
Good, all right, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else before I try to have a second for the,
Move to adjourn.
I know, Jim gave the first, who's the second? Jake seconded, yeah, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Meeting's adjourned.
Yes, if the AFPA guy ever called into me,
He's been around doing it.
Yeah.
that's interesting.